Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this session again. My name is John from CyberWatch, and this video is powered by CyberWatch IO. In this class, we're going to be coding an exercise. I always advise us to try and practice. The more you practice trying to code the real world problems, the better you become in coding, in programming. All right. So in this class, we're going to try to simulate a real world problem. And what we'll be building here is a basic student management system, like student information system rather. All right, where we are going to be keeping we're going to be keeping a student or students and their details. All right, like student name, student class, student address, and all that. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is we try as much as we can to select the right collections. Okay, by that I mean, are we going to be using a list? Are we going to be using the tuple? Are we going to be using the dictionary? Are we going to be using a set? All right, but in this case I will be choosing one of these things, of these collections. And what I'll be choosing here today is a dictionary. All right, and what we're going to be, we've learned dictionary before, and just for to remind us, we can say students. All right, student is equal to, we drop our dictionary and we do this and this. You remember, maybe if we have name here, we're going to be having maybe John, and if you want to print it, you can go ahead and say print student. So when we print it, you see that we're going to be having our set. We're going to be having our set. All right, so if we actually want to have each of the stuffs inside of our dictionary, you remember we're going to be using for. All right, we're going to be using for, let's say, for record in students. All right, so we'll now do this print. That case, we're going to be printing record. So if we go ahead and print this, to display what we have. We've done this in our previous classes, okay? But in this class, we're going to be carrying out this. We're going to be doing something different, okay? Instead of having something like this, we're going to be having a nested, I would say nested dictionary, okay? And what we're going to be doing, we'll have, let's say students, let's say student one. All right, we'll have this student one. We'll now have this that's if we're going to have the nested, what do we call it now? We're going to have the nested dictionary now. Sorry, I have to turn off something. Okay, so we'll now come here. Instead of having that, we'll now come here and have another dictionary like this. So student one, let's also put it in parentheses. Student one like this is going to be this. It means this student one has this and this. All right, this student one has name to be this. Okay, you can have student two like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to, the kind of structure that we're going to be giving our dictionary today. And I have actually coded or put together the dictionary we're going to be using. So I'll paste it from somewhere now, and we have that. Okay, let me close it for now. We have that, and let me increase it a bit here. So we have 110%, right? So this is our record. Look at it now. Student one, and we have another dictionary inside of it. Name this, class, address this, CGPA this. All right, student 2, and that one closes. Okay, then student 2, the same thing down. So this is our dictionary now. So what we'll be doing with this dictionary now is we're going to go ahead and okay, let's even go ahead and print it out now. All right, we'll go ahead and print it out. So let's give some decorative text. All right, so let's do this. Let's do student records. All right, and let's do another line. Okay, something like that. So before that, I think let's drop print, just empty print like that to give a space. Then we'll now do our for. We'll now say student. Let's say for student ID. Okay, we'll remember this, and details. All right, in records, in record.items. Okay, we should remember this. Okay, then if I go ahead and do for, we'll do another for, but let's go ahead and just say print. Okay, student ID. If we do print student ID and we do comma, details, all right, details like this, it's not going to give us what we want. Okay, look at it, but it's going to give us actually the details. This is for student ID, sorry, student 1. It's going to show all these things. Then student 2 is going to show all this dictionary also. Okay, so let's go ahead again. That's not what we want, you remember. That's not what we want. Don't want everything to be arranged this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it more beautiful. Okay, so we just print this one. All right, we print just this one. If we run it again, you see that we're going to be having this. All right, so I think what we'll do under this also, let's have another decorative print. So let's do this, and let's do our underline down all the way down there. So if we print again, you see that we're going to be having this and this. Okay, so that's nice. That's nice. It's coming out good. So after this also, we should now go ahead and drop the second for loop to, it's only dropping the student ID. All right, we need all these other details here. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop another for loop. We've done this kind of thing before though. So if we do for let's say key value, for key value in what are we going to pick from now? Now these details actually is all these guys. Okay, so we'll now do in details. All right, dot item. All right, so we'll now do this, and we'll now go ahead and do print. Okay, let's use our f stuff here now, formatting stuff here now. Let's go ahead and now do key. Sorry, let's go ahead and do key. All right, key. Let's do this, and let's drop this value. Okay, so let's go ahead and print again. Okay, you see that we are having something nice now. Look at it, student 1. These are the details for student 1. Now student 2, these are the details. So let's go ahead and do something here also. After the student 1, we'll go ahead and do, okay, this way, and do print. Okay, to give a space. All right, so let's go ahead and print again. You see student 1, then there is a space, then student 2, this. Yeah, we're coming out with a good output now, a good program now. So it means our code is working well, and we are going towards the our goal. Now we've gotten this. Okay, so let's beat this guy down for a while. Then we're going to be doing something, because what we need to do at this point is we need to actually make, say, the system admin to enter more students. All right, system admin to enter more students, and I mean more students, I'm talking about the details. Enter all these details. Okay, and it should be dynamic. All right, it should be dynamic. It shouldn't be something like we have here. Okay, showing something like we have here already. So why I actually pasted this is for us to understand what we're doing. Okay, we can as well make this one an empty dictionary, and we'll continue. Okay, but let's go on like this way. Let's go on this way, and I want to say, okay, maybe when we're done with this, it should be a class or an assignment for you. Don't pre-populate anything in this thing. Okay, try and just try and just have an empty dictionary for record. Okay, and you go ahead with what we're doing. Also, that's how to expand your knowledge in all these things. Okay, so let's now go ahead now and see how we can accept values dynamically from the users. Mind you, anytime, like I said in our previous class, anytime we're going to be accepting anything from the user, so that we'll not just accept one and the code will terminate. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to use our while loop. So we'll now do while true. Okay, then we'll come down here and do okay, before we even accept something, because what we're going to be doing already is to be accepting information. But before we do that, we need to ensure that student ID, because in dictionary is unordered. Okay, like we did in our previous class, it's not ordered at all. This guy can come first, this guy can come first, and all that. It's not ordered, so you can't number them per se. Okay, so since it's unordered, we need to do something to conquer that. Okay, to conquer that, so that we can have our students, okay, appropriately or accurately. So here we're going to now do student student ID, because this is student 1, student 2 is what I refer to as student ID. Okay, student ID is equal to, so we're going to do something. We'll do F. All right, watch what we're going to be doing now. We'll do F, and we'll drop our parenthesis, our quotation. Then I will now do students, meaning this very student like this. Okay, before the two. Okay, I'll now do students. Okay, and you see the reason why I'm using this F formatting pattern now. Then I'll open this and I'll do okay, what are we going to put there now? Sorry, I just saw something. White true, so we should have our full column. All right, that way before we come down. Okay, so we have student 1, student 2. So we now have students. We should have something here, something that will now add up to that we adding up to our students, so that we'll be having student 1, student 2, student 3, incremental, something like that. Okay, so we'll now come here. What are we going to be doing? We check our records here. If you check the length of our record, the length is 2. All right, we have student 1, student 2, so the length is 2. So let's go ahead and use the len function. So we'll now do len. All right, now inside of the len function, what are we going to drop now? We're going to be doing records. Okay, record, meaning the length of the record. How many records do we have here? 2 already. Okay, so the next time that we're going to have another record, okay, is going to be 2 plus 1. That's 3. So we'll go ahead and say 2 plus 1. So we have student ID is student, open curly braces, len record plus 1. So now we go ahead and start accepting dynamically the student records or the student details. So I will now go ahead and do okay, I'll go ahead and do name, because the first one there is name. We'll now do name is equal to, just watch very closely, okay, and attentively. We'll do name equal to input. All right, we'll now do enter student name, enter student name. Okay, we'll now go to the next one. What's the next record that we need to pick? Class. Okay, now we'll do class. No, mind you, we can't use class, because class like this is a reserved word. Okay, so instead of us maybe allowing ourselves to run into problems, we should go ahead and do, let's say, name it another, like stud class, meaning student class. Okay, we'll now do equal to input, enter student class. All right. So what's the next thing to take? Address, right? So that one we can actually do. Address is equal to input. All right. Enter student address, right? Address. We'll now do a full column space, and now we'll get our last variable there, which is CGPA. We'll now do CGPA equal input, uh, enter student CGPA. Or I'll do a column and give a space. Then I will now go. We've accepted all the necessary variables, right? So the next thing that we're going to be doing is this thing that we just accepted. Let's now add it up to our dictionary. You know, if it's a list, okay, we can now say record, all right, record dot append. But you see, dictionary do not have append. That's why it's not going to work that way. Okay, but watch what I'm going to be doing now. So at this point, I'll now do record. All right, I will now open like indexing. You know, indexing that we did at the early part of the class of the whole series. Okay, I'll now do student ID. All right, now that record we want to now add the third. In this case now, the next record now is going to be the third one. Okay, student 1, student 2, so it's going to be student 3. So from this line number 18, it's going to be student ID is going to be student 3. You know, this function that what we did here is going to be resulted to 3, or it will result to 3. So when we do record student IDs or record square bracket student ID this way, it means record 3. All right, we'll now do is equal to, then we drop our what do we call it? We drop our dictionary, all right, which is the curly braces, all right, or you can call it curly brackets. Okay, so I will now hit it down this way, okay, because we're going to be adding it up now. So we'll now go ahead and now do, what's the first thing? The name, right? Let's make sure we have everything correctly. Okay, this way. All right, so we'll now go ahead and do name. Okay, we drop this, all right, and we drop, instead of us to have another another quotation mark that way, we just go ahead and do, because we've named the variables already. Okay, we'll now go ahead and drop the variable, you know, as we have them accordingly and appropriately. Okay, so we'll now do comma, another quotation mark, what do we have there? Class, rather. Yeah, let's be careful so I will not make that mistake. Okay, we'll now come here and say stud class, comma. The next thing is what? Next information is address. So we'll now do address. All right, we drop our full column. We'll now do address. Okay, and now the last one, CGPA. So we'll go ahead and do CGPA. All right, make sure every variable that you have here, if they are in capital letters or upper cases, make sure they are like that. If they are small letter from here, make sure you drop them here, else it's not going to work. You know, Python is case sensitive. So we'll come here and do CGPA. All right, so that's it. So at this point, let's now drop. Okay, let me do here, say success notification. Okay, success notification. That's the stage here. Here we can actually come and say let's learn the habit of giving narrations to our code. Okay, I've told us before. So at this point we can now say update student record, update student record. Okay, that's it. Okay, so you can name them all around like that. Okay, here we're going to now do print just the success record. Okay, print. I'll now do F. Okay, let's use our F, and now and inside of our F, we'll now do student ID. Sorry, yeah, actually, student ID has been added successfully. All right, successfully. Sorry, successfully. All right, has been added successfully. Then I will come down here, all right, and do print, all right, to give a space, after which we'll now go ahead and print our record. So now this one actually is giving this thing because the indentation, we're not getting it right. So all we need to do to clear that is just to move everything here, and everything is all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our code now. If I run the code, enter student name. All right, so I'm going to quit the code, exit the code at this point, and first, I think the first thing that we need to do is to display the student record first, okay, before we even go ahead to update. So I'll do copy. Okay, I'll come down here and drop that. All right, so that's just all we need to do. So we come down here. Okay, let's go again. Okay, let's go again and check to see the mistake that we're making. Okay, all right, all these things are supposed to come to the back. Is a case of indentation here also. Okay, it's a case of indentation. All right, 4 like that. So here we go ahead and do this. So bring this one here. All right, bring this one here. Let's go through it and fix it. Okay, bring this here also. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, that's correct. So this one we can now bring it back here. So let's go ahead and run it again. It should run. Yeah, so that's it. So we see student 1. Oh, the gap is too much. The gap is too much. There shouldn't be gap between them. Okay, so let's take this guy from here first. Okay, let's just comment it out and run again. Yeah, so let's just give a gap in between each of the students. Okay, now to now do that, we bring this one here. Let's bring this one here. Actually, yeah, I think it should work fine now. Yeah, that's what we need. So this is we only have John, Jerry, John Doe. So let's go ahead and add another record. Okay, so here we have, let's say, Jaden. Okay, Jaden, John, Sherry. Now enter student class. All right, enter student class. Let's say software engineering. All right, software engineering. Sorry, let me stop something here also. All right, software engineering. So I'll press enter and say enter student address. Let's go ahead and say USA. Okay, USA. Okay, let's enter GPA. Let's say 5.00. When I press enter, you see that John Jerry it's here. John Doe is here. You see that Jaden John Jerry has been added. Let's go ahead and add another one again. Okay, you see enter student under also. So I'll go ahead and do Mercy John. I go ahead and do classes marketing. All right, or let's say business. Enter student address. Let's say USA. CGPA, let's say 4.50. Okay, you see now that we have John Jerry, it's adding up. It's adding up. Student 3, student 4, like that. Okay, it's working correctly. All right, but there's something I need us to fix. Right now, it's still running, and after every stuff is telling us to actually enter another student. Let's go ahead and give uh, a space to our users, at least to choose whether they still want to continue adding or not. All right, that's one thing that we're going to be fixing at this point. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's stop this. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's say under this, okay, under this we'll now say add user if to add more. All right, we'll now say add more. Let's use that. Add more equal to, we'll now do input. Do you want to add, do you want to add more, add another student, sorry, question mark. So we'll now do open bracket, close bracket, we'll do yes slash no. All right, mind you, like we did before, I will now do dot lower here. Okay, meaning anything they enter, it should be lower. Okay, so I'll now come down here and use our if add more. All right, now in this case I will do if it's not equal to, we'll do exclamation equal to. If it's not equal to yes, meaning they don't want to add anything anymore, we'll now do break. Okay, if it's not equal to yes, break. But if it's no, sorry, if it's yes, actually it should go back. But if it's no, meaning if it's not equal to yes, it should terminate. Okay, so let's before we do this, under this also let's do print. All right, let's do print. So let's go ahead and run our code again. This is it. Okay, so enter student name. I'll go ahead and do Jaden. Okay, John, Jerry, Jaden, John, Jerry. Class, let's say software engineering, address, let's say USA, and CGPA 5.00. okay, if we do this, see it's been added, and under here we see do you want to add another student. Okay, let's go ahead and say no. Okay, it's like it terminates. All right, if you go ahead and say yes, let's run it again and say yes afterwards. So let's go ahead and do Jaden, John, Jerry. All right, class is software engineering. Address is USA. CGPA, let's say 5.00. Now here it's been added, so yes. So let's go ahead and type yes. You see, we'll start again, enter. You see, so it's working perfectly. Mercy John, enter class business. Okay, admin, let's say admin, business admin. Enter student address, let's say USA. Enter CGPA, let's give 4.50. You see, Mercy 2 has been added. Okay, that's how it will continue. So it's still asking us now, do you still want to add another student? I will now go ahead and say no. Okay, it terminates. So this is working pretty good. Okay, this is working pretty good. So this is like a student information system. All right, a basic one. Okay, but from here you see, you notice that you are grounding your feet, all right, in solving real world issues, real world problems. And mind you, all this code that we have here, you will, if you're going to code anything related to this kind of a thing in the future, you will still come across a lot of things that we've done here. All right, so thank you very much. This is the end of the exercise. All right, and you see that we have our code running very beautifully. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next class. Bye for now.